Look, this season isn't asking you to do more. It's inviting you to be more present, more grounded, more intentional. Because when you focus on meaning instead of expectation, the holidays stop being something you struggle to survive and become something you're actually able to savor. Welcome to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, where we explore the keys to unlocking your full potential and living your best life. I'm your host, Jose Johnson. Whether you're looking to make a breakthrough, overcome a challenge, or simply live with greater clarity, joy, and purpose, you'll find the tools and inspirations you need right here. So let's start your journey towards personal mastery and growth right now. Welcome back to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, your go-to resource for practical tips, insightful research, and inspiring stories to help you unlock your full potential. I'm your host, Jose Johnson, and I'm an expert in the fields of mindfulness, mindset, and peak performance, and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. And in today's episode, we're kicking off a special 4-part series designed to help you end 2025 with clarity, joy, and momentum, and step confidently into 2026 with a mindset that's grounded, focused, and ready for growth. Today's topic is one that hits home for just about everyone: how to put the joy back into your holidays without losing your mind in the process. Because as magical as this time of year can be, it can also be messy, overwhelming, and emotionally exhausting. And if you don't manage your mindset intentionally, this season can feel less like peace on earth and more like stress on a sleigh ride. So today, we're going to talk about the psychology of holiday overwhelm, the neuroscience behind why this season hits us harder than others, and perhaps most importantly, 5 practical science-based tools that you can use to bring calm, clarity, and genuine joy back to your holidays. So let's jump in. All right, here's a funny thing about the holiday season. 2 people can be in the exact same situation, the same house, the same family, the same soundtrack of Mariah Carey on repeat for the season, and still have wildly different experiences. For some, the holidays bring excitement, warmth, nostalgia, and togetherness. But for others, they trigger anxiety, frustration, fatigue, and sometimes even loneliness. And for most people, well, it's both at the same time. Now, psychologists often refer to this as the holiday paradox, a mix of elevated joy and elevated stress. It turns out the human nervous system doesn't care what the calendar says. It only cares about stimulus, expectations, and emotional meaning. So even though the holidays have a reputation for being the most wonderful time of the year, they also come packaged with more obligations, more decisions, more stimulation, more emotional triggers, more financial pressure, more comparison, and more expectations than most any other month. And that's a perfect recipe for stress before you even get out the cookies. Studies published by the American Psychological Association consistently show that a significant percentage of people experience increased fatigue, irritability, sadness, and financial anxiety during the holiday seasons. And that's in a normal year. And heaven knows that this year has been anything but normal. So layer in personal challenges, busy schedules, family dynamics, or perfectionist expectations, and the emotional load doubles. And this leads us to the first major truth of today's episode. Holiday stress isn't about the holidays. It's about what the holidays activate in us. The decorations, they're innocent. The cookies, they didn't do anything wrong, except for maybe that gingerbread man. I never really trusted him. And the tree, well, it's just standing there minding its own business. So what's really going on? Well, let's dig a little deeper. Now, there are 3 big neurological and psychological factors at play this time of year. I like to call them the Holiday Stress Trifecta. The first is cognitive overload. Now, simply put, you're trying to do too much with too little mental bandwidth. The human brain is built to handle roughly 4 to 7 pieces of information at once. During the holidays, that number jumps from a handful to a whole Costco-sized cartful. You've got shopping lists, travel plans, family expectations, work deadlines, school schedules, financial considerations, social obligations, and a partridge in a pear tree. So no wonder your brain feels as fried as a Cajun-style turkey. Number 2 is expectation pressure. Now, this is where the real emotional punch comes from. Every holiday season comes with an invisible checklist. The house should look festive. The family, well, they should be getting along. The gifts, well, they should be meaningful. The photos, they need to look great. The food, it has to be perfect. The kids, well, hopefully they should be well behaved. And you should magically transform into Martha Stewart meets Mr. Rogers. But here's the catch. When your expectations outpace your reality, your mood takes the hit. Expectations create internal pressure. And that pressure, well, it creates emotional tension. And number 3, emotional echoes. Now, this one is pretty sneaky. Holidays are emotionally loaded because they trigger memories. Good, bad, joyful, stressful, nostalgic, or painful. The brain stores memories in networks, not in isolated files. So when one holiday memory activates, it accidentally pulls others with it. So that warm family gathering from 2012, well, the memory is sitting right next to that big argument from 2014. So when you wonder, why am I feeling all these emotions? The answer is your brain is running emotional software updates from the past. So let's get to the real root of holiday stress. Now that we've looked at the brain science, let's simplify it. Holiday stress is fueled by 3 major forces. Too much to do, which is cognitive overload. Too much expected, that's perfection pressure. And too much remembered, our emotional triggers. But the real root, the part that actually is causing the suffering, is this. When we get caught in the gap between what we imagine and what we experience, that gap creates disappointment. And disappointment, it becomes frustration. And frustration becomes emotional overwhelm. And the emotional overwhelm, well, that becomes holiday burnout. But here's the good news. You have far more control over your internal experiences than you might think. This season doesn't need to change. You just need a few mindset upgrades to navigate it with more clarity and ease. So let's talk about how. All right, so here's my holiday gift to you. 5 science-backed strategies to put the joy back into your holidays. Now, these tools are simple, practical, and rooted in neuroscience, mindfulness, and the mindset principles that I teach every day. And when you use them consistently, they can completely shift the way you move through this season. So let's walk through each one and explore how they can help you experience more joy, more ease, and more presence during the holidays. Let's start with number 1, practice micro-gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional regulators that we have. It naturally boosts serotonin and dopamine. Those are 2 neurotransmitters that help stabilize our mood and reduce our stress. But here's the important part. Gratitude works best when it's practiced in small, consistent moments, not as a big, dramatic gesture. And that's where micro-gratitude comes in. Just identify one thing in the morning and one thing at night that you're grateful for. Now, these tiny bookends create a powerful emotional reset and set the tone for your day and your rest. Now, you can also use gratitude cards. And you do this by writing individual things that you're grateful for on index cards and just pull one out whenever your mood starts to slip. Spend a moment reflecting on it and let the feeling shift your perspective. It's simple, quick, and incredibly effective, especially during the busiest time of the year. Tip number 2, reduce mental noise. A cluttered mind creates a cluttered experience. And during the holidays, your mental bandwidth gets used up faster than your phone battery in cold weather. So to give your brain some breathing room, focus on simplifying your cognitive load. Start by choosing your top 3 priorities for the day. Then say no to anything that doesn't line up with them. And simplify wherever you can. Fewer events, fewer commitments, fewer expectations. Now, this isn't just about doing less for the sake of it. It's about creating enough space for you to actually enjoy the moments that matter instead of rushing through them in survival mode. Your brain and your peace of mind will thank you. Technique number 3, redefine traditions intentionally. Traditions can be beautiful, but they can also become burdens if we follow them out of obligation rather than meaning. Every tradition that exists started because someone made a choice to do things a certain way. So this season, ask yourself, what traditions still bring me joy? Which ones feel stressful, outdated, or unnecessary? And what new traditions could reflect who I am now and what matters most to me today? Look, you don't need anyone's permission to update the rituals in your life. You get to decide which traditions to keep, which to release, and which new ones to create. When your celebrations match your values, they automatically become more fulfilling. Number 4, embrace change instead of wrestling with it. One of the biggest sources of holiday stress is resisting the natural changes that come with life. Changes in family dynamics, routines, plans, or expectations. But there's a powerful truth here. Change doesn't cause chaos. Fighting change causes chaos. See, the brain loves predictability, but it also grows through novelty and adaptation. When you see change as an opportunity rather than a threat, you activate the part of your brain responsible for clarity, creativity, and problem solving. So instead of saying, why can't it be like it used to be? Try asking, what new possibility is available to me right now? And that simple shift opens the door to unexpected joy and new meaning. And number 5, focus on the why, not the what. This is the heart of holiday happiness. When you focus on the deeper why behind the season, everything becomes more intentional and less stressful. So ask yourself, what's the true meaning of this season for me? What emotions do I want to feel? What can I do to create those emotions intentionally? When you anchor yourself in purpose, the external details start to matter a whole lot less. You stop chasing the perfect gift, the flawless gathering, or the Instagram-worthy moment, and you start cultivating genuine connection. Because when it's all said and done, people don't remember the wrapping paper or the decorations. They remember how they felt. They remember your presence. They remember the moments of joy, kindness, and connection. All right, to help you bring these ideas to life, I'm giving you a simple 1-week challenge. You can pick one of these things to do or all 5 of them. Number 1, choose one gratitude practice and do it daily. It can be bookending or gratitude cards. Completely your choice. 2, remove one unnecessary commitment. Give yourself permission to simplify. 3, update one tradition or create a brand new one. 4, shift one expectation into an intention. Replace thoughts like, it should be like this, with, I want to experience. And 5, end each day with this reflection. What added meaning to today? Now, this isn't just a holiday challenge. This is actually a life challenge. So to recap, the holidays don't need to be perfect to be joyful. They don't need to be stress-free to be meaningful. Your power lies in your ability to manage your mindset, to protect your energy, to set intentional expectations, to redefine meaning, and to choose presence over perfection. And when you do that, the joy returns, not because the world delivered it to you, but because you created it. Look, this season isn't asking you to do more. It's inviting you to be more present, more grounded, more intentional. Because when you focus on meaning instead of expectation, the holidays stop being something you struggle to survive and become something you're actually able to savor. And remember, your mindset, it defines your experience. And the moment you choose clarity over chaos, you take back the whole season by taking back your power. All right, thank you so much for being with me today. This is the first part of our 4-part December Momentum series, and I promise you, we're just getting started. And next week, we're going to dive into momentum mastery, how to build small, powerful wins that will carry you into 2026 with confidence, clarity, and purpose. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with someone who might need a little extra calm and clarity this season. And remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great. Thanks for tuning in. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or treatment. While the content of this podcast is based on research and personal experience, everyone's situation is unique, and the advice given may not be applicable to all. Always consult a qualified professional before making significant changes in your life. The Personal Mastery and Growth podcast is recorded at the So Good Media Studios, located in the Candy Factory, a co-working space in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.